Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 7. This week, we're going to be covering chapters 14 and 15 dealing with PCS procedures on the GI system and the skin. Chapter 14, when we always think about digestive systems, we think of the more obvious ones. We think of the endoscopies, we think of the colonoscopies, the sigmoidoscopies. But it also includes things like the procedures that we see on the hepatobiliary system, the pancreas. You can see all the things that are covered in the GI system or the digestive system, as I think your text refers to it as, in table 14.2 in your text or in the PCS code book. Sometimes people just don't think of the pancreas as being in the digestive system. They kind of lump it into the endocrine and what have you. So then moving to chapter 15, we have procedures on the skin. A lot of emphasis on this from CMS. And again, this kind of comes back to, as many things do with CMS, compliance and reimbursement. Now, as you'll find out in reimbursement, if you haven't already taken the class, things that are not documented as present on admission, right, will not be paid for as part of the reimbursement with inpatient stays. So a lot of these procedures are going to be the debridements, the excisional debridements. So you may want to be able to review all the terms of the skin so you're clear on what all is entailed when coding these procedures. Anyway, that's what I have for you this week. I think this will be a little bit more straightforward than the previous week, but if you have any questions, please feel free to stop by during office hours. That's all I have for you right now. Have a great week, and I'll see you online. Bye now.